5, 1, 16. It looks like we understand the 5 entrance pretty nicely. Just let's not get too wide. Keep Felipe in a position where he can keep a good body position. Nice 5 out the door. Cool. On the one, like the front pair's looking good. I like this build as well. And then just, Marconi, remember how we want to see your center point go up to here? It looks like you're just rotating a lot at the start. So it looks like your hip is moving away. This hip is moving away from Fred. And we want you to end up over here halfway through the cat. But you see how these guys are here. This is Felipe and Manuel. You should be here, Marconi. So your track, if you like, for your body is to go through the center and make the 21 target there. So you, instead of that hip moving away, you should have this compressed side body picture here with Marconi up here. And then we halfway through the block, we end up with Marconi and Felipe there. And it will just make the catch easier because right now you're coming from further away. Really nice 16, beautiful finish on it. Fred, watch your hip please on the build of the 5. Okay, might be close to a bust. Little wide on the finish there, Marconi. I've seen you do better ones where you think a little more sideways and then rotate. This looks like you rotate, dive through, and finish going forwards. And when you do that, remember it's hard to stop your energy. We're trying to keep our bodies flat as we go through rather than pitching too much. So you should just now be arching just a tiny little bit, sliding sideways. So you're going, instead of rotating, going this way and then finish with the rotation. And just on the front, guys, Manuel and Felipe, when you're in this position here on the point slot, make sure your hip goes up. You know, your lower body can stay level, ready for the, your upper body can stay level with the back pair, but your hip needs to move up so that the person jumping doesn't have this tension on their arm. Yep, so that hip lifts up so it's level with the hopper. Okay, not the best of builds. It would have been probably better to just actually, no, you guys stay off the grips quite nicely into there. I'm just thinking of, Marconi, your position. It's not a very comfortable place to start. But actually, you do a really good job of feeding Fred. And Fred does a good job of getting to that target. The earlier ones were really nice on the front, guys. But make sure, Manuel, that you don't move around Felipe. Make sure it's Felipe that comes through to here. Have a look. There's the center point of the one where the cursor is. Can you see how much you're moving around? It's the same mistake that I make on this block, Manuel. Is you're trying to bring Felipe to the 21 picture that should be happening there. Whoop, let me just take it back there. So you remember on the previous one, I was giving the back pair a bit of a work in on how to get to this target. Well, they're there now, but you guys are not because, Manuel, you've gone around Felipe. Yeah. Nice 5 build. Good 5. Okay, so if you weren't bust here, you should have been. It's a very rough build, very grippy. You've been doing such a good job of cruising to the tops of blocks. Remember, on a dive like this, you got 3 blocks. So every build is a cruise to the top of the block. And right now, looking at body positions, we're not in a good body position. Fred doesn't have that grip, and the piece gets keyed. So we're not really on board. We're not really communicating at the start of the block. There was 116 that I wanted to talk about. Yeah, let me see if I can find it. I think it was a B slot 16. Excuse me, guys. Be patient with me. So A slot's good. 16. Okay, we've talked about that. There we go. I think it's this 16. Let me just watch it through. Yeah. All right. 16. That knee, don't forget, Fred, needs to go to there. So at the start of the block, your center point's got to feel like it's moving a little bit forwards down the line. Obviously, it's more this direction. It's not all about rotation. If it's all about rotation, that knee doesn't quite get to there. You see that? And now you're forcing Marconi around you. Marconi wants to go through where you're at. So you need to make sure that your head kind of goes a little more out to here rather than just a big rotation at the start. Because now we're missing the tightness of the first box. We're missing the box there. We're missing a compressed picture there. And therefore we're going to miss the catch at the end. Well, you don't miss it, but it just makes it harder. Okay, all right. Yeah, so this is an interesting dive because you've got 3 blocks, but remember every first point build is a cruise so that you're ready for the block move coming up.